Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I am really excited about today's video. You'll be happy to know that it is a design video and I am going to be rebranding Spotify. So if you don't use Spotify, it is a music platform that allows you to listen to thousands and probably millions of artists, and I don't think I would be able to get along with my day without actually using Spotify. I use it every single day when I'm working, listening to music, and I thought, you know what, it'd be really good to just rebrand it and see what it would look like with a completely different design. So I have been wanting to do a music brand for a while now and I didn't know which direction to go in, so instead of coming up with a completely new music platform, I thought I would just take Spotify's brand, redesign it and see what it looks like. So if you are ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back and let's get on with the design. So we are in the design hot seat right now, and hopefully by the end of this video, Spotify will have a completely fresh new look. So I'm so excited to start with this video. So the first thing I do when I do a whole new rebrand is look at their original brand. So what colors they have, what typeface they use, everything like that. So I'm gonna get Spotify's logo, have a little look into it and see why they have made the decisions that they've made. So Spotify's logo consists of a really nice sans serif typeface. So I think I'm still gonna use a sans serif typeface because it just gives off a really nice, soft, personal vibe, and I want it to be really down to earth and nothing high end, nothing over the top, nice and simple. And then I'm gonna bring in some really cool elements within the design. So hopefully it just brings it all to life. They also use a green color. Now the green color has always bothered me. I don't know if this is just me, but I don't know, when I use green, it's more of like the earthy, natural elements. And for me, as a music platform, I don't really like the green. So I'm definitely gonna go in, change the colors. Also, if anyone has noticed the Spotify icon, so the three waves that they use, it's on a tilt, and I don't know why this has been done. I think it's maybe to not make it symmetrical. I'm not too sure, I haven't actually looked into it, but if you didn't know, it is crooked, and if you don't know, I'm really sorry for bringing this up. So once I've had a look at the logo and realised what I like, what I don't like, I then go into Pinterest and start curating a load of different images, try and get a feel of what direction I want to go in. So I've already done this and I'm going to show you my board. So as we know, in Spotify's logo, they have the three waves, which represent sound waves, Wi-Fi, listening to music. So I still want to incorporate that somehow, but I know that I probably won't end up using like three of their lines. It'll be more of like a wavy line and still stick to knowing that it is a music platform. So in my mood board, I have put together some really nice visuals. I've got some really nice sans serif typefaces in here that I know that I'm probably gonna stick to. I've got some really nice sound waves, some really nice visuals of that wavy element that I was talking about, some really nice color. I'm not too sure on the direction of color, but I will know once I've designed the logo. But yeah, I'm really liking the whole look of this mood board right now, and I'm going to bring this into Illustrator so I have these images within my file and then I can start on the logo. So now looking at this mood board, I'm going for a sans serif typeface. I'm gonna add in lots of color. I'm not sure what colors I want to go for, but the blue is really catching my eye and it kind of does just remind me of music for some reason. And I want to make sure I get those really nice wave patterns within this branding. Maybe not on the logo, I have no idea yet, but you guys are in this process with me and hopefully it looks insane by the end of it. So now we're going to get the project moving. So the next stage is to come up with the primary logo. So for it to read Spotify, I'm going to find some really nice sans serif typefaces, see which ones I am vibing with. I like the look of the archy form on my mood board with like the really nice round edges. It just reminds me of those really nice sound waves which have really nice curves on them, so maybe something in that direction. So if you watch my videos, you will know that I pick around 8 to 10 typefaces, and then once I see them all together, I go through them and basically just pick my favorites and have a feel for which ones are going to work and which ones aren't. So in Adobe Illustrator, when you're looking for fonts, I always like to use the filters. So on here, you get the different classifications. So I'm gonna pick the sans serif, which is this, so it's without the serif lines on the typeface. So once you've filtered this, it will bring up loads of different ones. If there's nothing on my fonts that I already have, I will go on to Creative Market, Adobe Fonts, Google Fonts, Envato Elements, which can be a really long process when actually finding typefaces for clients, but that is the way of finding the best typefaces. So I'm gonna have a look on mine and then see if any of them take my fancy. Managed to pick 6 fonts. I thought going into like 8 to 10 fonts was gonna confuse me because sans serif typefaces are quite similar even though there are tiny differences, so I thought I would just stick to the 6. So I've added in these Spotify logos as well, just so you guys can see exactly what the current Spotify typeface is like. Now they have used a capital letter for the S, and I kind of like the idea of having everything in lowercase just to appear more down to earth, more modern, and I feel like having the capitalized S is just ruining it for me, so I'm going with everything in lowercase. So we look at the first font, it is Circa Extra Bold, and I am really liking this. I do like how it is really bold. I feel like this is gonna work for the brand. So I did have an idea as well to make it a little more playful. Within the fonts, hopefully there's like an extra bold, a bold, different thicknesses within the type. So I can change the letters around and just make it look a bit more playful. Sort of representing the sound waves that you get. So you obviously get the higher pitch, the lower pitch. So maybe like the different thicknesses would work really nicely. I don't know if that's gonna work, but we're gonna try it anyway. So the first one I really like. It's rounded enough, yeah, it still has the straight edges to it, so it's not too harsh, not too soft, and it's kind of exactly what I want, so I'm keeping that one. The next one, I'm not vibing with the I. This can obviously be changed. It is too straight for me. It's giving me more corporate vibes, and I don't get that when I listen to music. I just get really nice rhythm, really nice sound, and a really nice flow. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. Next one is this, which is Jill Sans, and Jill Sans is an elite font, by the way. I love using Jill Sans, but for me, I don't feel like this one is gonna work. It's a bit too harsh, whereas I like on the Cirque font how the Y goes up, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. You guys always comment and say that I am brutal when I choose my fonts, which is sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing. And yeah, it's just something that I do. If I don't like it and I'm not vibing with it, it is gone. It's good to just sort of do that instead of just faffing around staring at the font for a while. So next font is Noir. I don't even know if this is pronounced right. Noir Pro. Noir. Am I pronouncing that right? I have no idea. I really like this font. It is quite similar to this one over here, but the Y is kind of straight, and I do like the Y being on that curve. I'm gonna keep this one just to see if I can use it. So let's move on to the next ones, which is Avocado Sans Bold Regular. I do like this, but I do kind of get like childish vibes. It is a little too rounded for me, and I do like these straight edges on these two fonts, so I feel like it's not gonna go with what I want. Same as this one now, looking at this, when I saw it, I do like how the T looks, but now looking at it, it does look a little childish and kind of like retro-y, which is not what I want to go for, so I'm getting rid of it. So now we are left with 2. And although they are very similar, there's a few things that are different on these. So for example, the T, the arm of the T is only on one side, whereas down here it is on both. The same with the F. The Y is more curved on this one and it is straight on this one. Now I'm just gonna have a little look at these and see which one I prefer. I kind of prefer the P on this bottom one because it is rounded, and on this P here it is straight. Okay, staring at it for like a few seconds, the bottom one just catches my eye a little more. So I am gonna get rid of this one. Hopefully that was the right decision, but we will see. So we have picked the font, and I really like that it is in lowercase. Now it is time for me to manipulate it. It is great having a typeface, and I always suggest manipulating it because anyone could come along, pick this typeface and then just run with it. But I like adding in modifications to typefaces, so then it is really unique to that brand. So that is exactly what I'm going to do now, and hopefully I can bring this brand to life. So like I said at the start, I want to get in that sound wave, that really nice up and down feel. So I'm going to tweak the typeface with the thickness of each of the fonts and just get a really nice playful, yet I still want to keep it nice and simple so I can add in those really fun elements within the brand further on. So I'm going to mess around with creating a nice little wave and just adjusting the typeface slightly. So when designing a logo, I design it in all black first because you want to make sure that your logo is readable, visible, and everything in black, because if you ever need signage or anything done, it needs to work in just black. So that's why I design in black first, and then I will start adding color in after, once I know that it works. So right now I am trying to make a really nice wave, and to do this in Illustrator, you can go to Effect, Distort and Transform, and then Zigzag. It will come up with really harsh edges, but you can just change that to smooth, and it will create some really nice sort of wavy lines for you. So in this instance, I'm going to try and use it. I have no idea how many lines that I want, but I'm going to play around. I kind of like it how it's under the O at the moment. Maybe I can turn this into like a person, or even just have the waves underneath it, if that works, or if it's just a really bad idea. So I have come up with 3 initial logos that I quite like the look of. So the first one, I had the idea of having that like dip of the wave underneath the O, but it kind of looks, I don't know, it reminds me of like a person. It doesn't really have anything to do with what I wanted it. It kind of also reminds me of like a flower. So like that is the main bit of the flower, and then that is like the leaves. So I'm not kind of vibing with that at the moment. Then I came up with putting the sort of wave underneath the O, and it kind of looks like a person sat at like their desk with their arm out. So that could kind of work, but once again, it's not giving me that like music thing that I wanted. And then the bottom one is probably my favorite. So it's the sound waves underneath TIF, and then sort of going into the Y, which leads your direction that way. I also manipulated the text and had the T and the Y sort of at a slant. I kind of like that because once again, it reminds me of the imperfect music sound waves. So I didn't want this typeface to be really perfect, really exact. So I think I'm probably gonna go with the bottom one. There's not really that much to it. And obviously they've got their icon, which is the 3 waves, but I thought it'd be just really nice to add in that wave in the actual logo, and then use this wave as the main thing within the whole brand. Add it to the submart logo. So when thinking of doing logos, you don't actually have to have something within your logo that symbolizes what you're trying to tell to the point. So for example, like you wouldn't put in like a music note within this, because you want people to know exactly what your brand is without having to show them what it is. So by adding just in something simple like a wave does this. So I'm hoping that this will look great. In my head it's gonna look great, but we will see if that actually happens. I'm gonna start adding colors into it. So that is the next stage of where I'm going with this. And like I said at the start, I am not vibing with the green, so I don't think I'm actually gonna include it at all. So this is like a complete rebrand and not just like a tiny one. So in my mood board, I really do love the blue color. It works really nicely with the black. Spotify use black within their brand, and I do like that, but I think I do wanna just go for more of like a pop of the color. I do love the He's a Dandy sort of card with the blue and the orange. I feel like that works really, really nicely. And I love the contrasting colors that these cards are showing. That's what the vibe that I want to get from when like I'd open Spotify's app. I just want to be hit with color. I want to know that like I'm on the app and not just have something plain. So I'm probably going to try out a few different colors and see what works well and what doesn't. So let's find some colours that this is going to work with. Let me know what colours you would choose if you were redesigning Spotify and what sort of style you'd go down. I'm a very colourful person and I love showing colour throughout my brand, and I feel like this would work really well for a music brand, just having nice bright colours thrown at you. That orangey red is just beautiful, so I've just eye dropped that off of He's a Dandy and it just looks beautiful. I'm going to group all of these. That looks so good. It kind of does remind me of like more Nike and like running, so I maybe tone the orange back just a little bit so you don't get that sort of vibe. Dived a little deeper into exploring the brand colours, and I knew that I wanted to work with this really dark deep blue and then add really nice splashes of colour, so I've gone with the orange colour. Now I was a little worried at the start because it did remind me more of like a running brand like Nike for example, but as I've gone on I'm actually really liking it. It's bringing out a really fresh, really nice vibe. So I am really loving the direction of this brand. I've just done the icon logo, which would be like the app or the icon that you would use for Spotify, and it is cute. So I have taken the S from the Spotify name and I've turned it into a really nice icon which involves the sound waves of music from the S, and then I've created just a really nice circle around it just to remind you of sort of music. So for example, like your headphones would be rounded, a disc is rounded. Colours work really nicely, so I'm glad I've chose the blues and the oranges. So now we have the primary logo, the submark logo, a branded pattern by using like the squiggles, the waves. Next is for me to actually mock this up, so I'm gonna find some things, maybe get like a phone, create an app, just see how all of these brand elements would actually look within Spotify. So I'm gonna try and find some mock-ups to do this and hopefully bring this whole brand to life through showing it through mock-ups. So I saw Spotify did a campaign which was like a meme inspired one, and I thought I would do like a similar thing to show the brand in action. So I thought of creating a billboard for the brand and for it to advertise Spotify as a whole, but in a really subtle way. I thought of it being one side saying me in a happy relationship of 5 years, and then the other side also me, and then an album cover that basically says breakup songs, because I don't know if this is just me, but I've been in a relationship for 6 years. I still love to listen to breakup songs, which is really weird, I think, but I just love like that feeling and the whole lyrics behind the actual song. So I thought that would be a really good way to advertise it and see the brand in action. Guys, I am actually really liking this whole brand. I put together the mock-ups and the artwork for the billboards and some artwork that would go in the Spotify app. So I decided to do like a top artist inspired sort of thing. So it would be the size of your phone. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys have a look at the final result for this Spotify branding. Please let me know if you like this brand or if this isn't your kind of thing. So that is the video done and my process of me rebranding Spotify. Hopefully I have done it a little bit of justice and really spruced it up, because I feel like Spotify have been missing the mark with getting that really vibey feeling when you listen to music, and I feel like this can be done through a lot of contrasting colours, which is why I decided to go with the blue and the orange. Please let me know what you think of the video, and if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more content just like this.